Hello everyone, this is Alex from Swoosh English. Great to see you all in today's Facebook Live session. I am just going to change a few things here. Okay, good. Okay, great to see you all. Please let me know who we have in the class today. This is going to be an OET speaking class all about what an examiner is looking for from you in order to get a grade A. Okay, if we can help you to get a grade A, then we would take a lot of satisfaction from that. Of course, most of you in the class right now are doctors and nurses, and you only need a B for speaking, but what a great thing it would be if you were to get an A. And we've had students, some of our Swoosh VIP students and our OET Challenge students before who have got a grade A in speaking. So let's see what we can do to help you today. So please tell me who we've got in the class. The more active you are, the more you participate, the more you get out of the session. So I would love to know who we have in the class today. Please let me know who you are in the message box below on Facebook Live and tell me where you're living right now, and are you a doctor or are you a nurse? So let's see how many doctors, how many nurses we've got in attendance, or if you're another kind of medical professional. So please let me know, and let me know which country you're in as well. Okay, so let me know the country, whether you're a doctor or a nurse, and obviously your name I can see as your Facebook name. So we've got Densi said hi, good to see Densi. Jomi, Shiju, Shoji Varghese, Liggy Manuel. We've got Viorica, we've got Divya, Pawandeep, and Divya has shared the OET live class video. Fantastic, you'll get access to our free OET welcome pack, and that's got lots of really helpful video lessons, resources, tips on how you can pass your OET exam in reading and listening 2.0, and of course the writing and the speaking. We've got Honor, we've got Pawandeep, Kwar Naing, Melby, Maggie, Annie, great to see so many of you. Tabello, awesome. Okay, so make sure you share the class today. It's completely free, this class. We want as many people as possible to benefit from the tips and advice on OET speaking today and how you can get a grade A. Okay, so we've helped so many students over the long period of time that we've been doing OET now to get the scores that they're looking for. So I look forward to helping all of you. So if you can share this to your Facebook page and allow other medical professionals to see the video, and then they can come on board, then that would be very, very beneficial. Okay, so let's see who we've got. Keep your messages coming. Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse? Which country are you coming in from? We've got doctors and nurses from all around the world who are our students and who come to our Facebook Lives and interact with us on YouTube, etc. So I would love to know. Please let me know in the message box. Okay, let's see who we've got. Who else have we got coming through? And also, please detail your challenges. What challenges are you having specifically with OET speaking? Okay, are you're not getting enough practice, or you don't know what the examiner is looking for? And I'll cover that today. Have you done your OET speaking exam before and you only got a C or C plus? What was the big challenge? What was the big difficulty for you as to why you didn't get the scores that you were looking for? So the more you tell me, the more I can help you. Okay, so we've got Geetha Lakshmi. He's a nurse from Ireland. A nurse, Blessie's a nurse working in Saudi. Steela is a nurse from the Philippines. Surya is a nurse from India. Jody is a nurse from the Philippines. Heba is Dr. Heba from Dubai. We've got Jyoti is from UAE and is a nurse. Muyad, a doctor from Saudi. Srizana, great to see Srizana is one of our VIP nurses. And Auntie, also one of our nurses in the Philippines. Great to see you, Anne. And you just joined our OET program a few days ago, so great to have you in there. We've got Isabel, one of our VIP students. Good to see you. Jody, Lakdan's also watching. Fantastic. Shoji from India. We've got Carla from Portugal. We've got people from all parts of the world in the session, so great to have all of you. Please, can you tell me what specific challenges are you facing with OET speaking right now? What's the biggest challenge? If you could name one challenge that is coming up time and time again for you with the role plays, then please tell me in the message box below, okay? Okay, so Midun, also one of our VIP students, said the description of the task is too big, which consumes the whole reading time and no chance to plan the role play. Well, this is where your skimming and scanning skills come into play, Midun, because you've got those 2 to 3 minutes reading time. That should be ample enough time for you, and that just takes more practice. It takes practice of you doing this with your study partner, and because you're one of our VIP nurses, we've given you access to a study partner. So this is the kind of thing you should be practicing with your study partner on a day-to-day basis, okay, especially if you've got your exam coming up soon. Shrina is one of our VIP nurses. Great to see you. So please tell me what your challenges are. Thank you very much for contributing there, Midun. Okay, so 2 to 3 minutes should be enough time, okay? And then you really should be going through and underlining the key words so that you can go back to those really important keywords later on, okay, when it comes to your role play time. Okay, Geetha Lakshmi says, I've got a problem with timing. Specifically, what issues are you having with timing? Okay, is it the preparation time? The 2 to 3 minutes is not enough for you, or is it you're not able to really express what you need to do in those 5 minutes of the role play? What is the difficulty for you? Okay, bless you. I got B in all modules except writing. Okay, well, you can go to our website, blessyswooshenglish.com, if you need help with that. You're not aware of OET Speaking 2.0, we'll go through that today. Okay, Zoila, in speaking, the interlocutor was not bothered in playing his part. Well, what I would say, Zoila, is this is a big misconception. The interlocutor who plays the role of the patient, the carer, etc., they are not there to bring your marks down or to make it difficult for you. They're not there to do that. They're there to help you. They're not marking you, so they're there to help you. They've been trained by the OET organization to help you every step of the way, okay, with your performance. So just remember that they are supporting you the whole way, okay, and they're there to positively impact your score, not to negatively impact your score, okay. Anti-shocking actors. Not sure what you mean. Are you trying to say that the interlocutors are shocking actors? I'm not sure what you mean there. Geetha Lakshmi says 5 minutes is not sufficient for you to complete the task. Well, the thing is, Geetha Lakshmi, OET have done these speaking role plays for years and years and years, and what they have, they found that those 5 minutes really do work, and they are sufficient, okay, based on all of the trials, all the tests that they do with thousands of medical professionals who take these speaking role plays. So they are designed by a team of highly qualified professionals to actually be a sufficient period of time for you to complete this. So yeah, those bullet points are there to support you, and they're there to really take up that 5 minutes time. Okay, so I'm going to go through a lot more. Okay, I'm going to go through a lot more with you very, very soon. I want to let you know that a really, really good Facebook group, the only Facebook group for OET that I highly recommend to students, is called OET World. If you're not part of their group, we've got a link for you in the description box above this video. So Kumar and his team are really good at helping students with answering their questions, etc., and providing free support. So if you do want to join their free Facebook group, you can see in the description box above this video, there's a link there where you can join, and Kumar will accept you and his team, and you can get a lot of help and support and guidance from other students as well. So that is definitely really important. So thanks for having you in here, Kumar. Important for you to join the OET World group. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, a lot of your questions, I'm going to come to them very, very soon. But before I go through today's session about what examiners are looking for, can you tell me what you think examiners are looking for? Okay, let me know in the message box, what do you think examiners are looking for when it comes to OET speaking? For you to have the opportunity to get a grade A, which would be amazing, what do you think you need to do to impress the examiner enough to satisfy all the requirements that the examiner has set in order to give you a grade A? What do you think you need to do? Can you let me know in the message box? Okay. Josie said, can I keep my role play card for the whole 5 minutes? Yes, you can. Write on it and underline it. Yes, you can. Okay. Good to see you, Sarim, also one of our doctors. Great to have you here. Read from our notes. Is it okay to read from our notes? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think if you're writing notes down on the role play card, yes, you can do that. But of course, you can't bring notes that you've prepared before the speaking role play into the room, if that's what you mean. But let me know, what do you think? Okay, what do you think is what examiners are looking for to get a grade A? Okay, they're looking for layman's language. Yes, it's not simple language, but it's layman's language. Okay, it's it's information that anyone could understand. Okay, any kind of patient, whether it's someone basically a non-medical professional. Okay, because some people use overly elaborate or highly technical medical language that you don't need to use in the OET speaking role plays, and this could work against you if you're just trying to impress the examiner with medical language, because the examiner is an English teaching professional. They are not a medical professional. That's really important to understand. So you need to impress the examiner with your English language ability and not your medical language ability. Okay, really, really important. Okay, so Liesel says it's a must for us to prove to the examiner that we know what we are saying. Being fluent is a must, of course. Yes, your fluency is very, very important. Okay. Okay, what else do we think is important? Isabel says, if we don't know the background of the medical problem, can we make things up to advise the patient? Yeah, I mean, absolutely, you can make things up, because remember, Isabel, this is an English language test. It's not a medical examination. Okay, if you use medical terms or your medical descriptions or explanations that are incorrect, okay, then you're not going to get marked down for that. Okay, so it's important for you to impress them with your English language ability, not necessarily your medical language ability. Okay. Your language skills as well as your clinical language skills are important in OET 2.0. Yes. Okay, Lucy. Okay, grammar is very important. Good communication skills with our patient. Yes, because your English language ability, if you've done IELTS before, you could have got a band 9 in your IELTS speaking. Okay, but if in this examination, in the OET examination, if you don't show things like empathy and reassurance, and you don't have good communication skills, and you're speaking the whole way through, but you're not listening to what the patient tells you, you're not going to get a very good score. So your communication skills are really, really important. Okay, asking questions, gathering information, getting information from the candidate, from the interlocutor, etc., etc. So these things are definitely what you'll be marked upon. Okay. So anyway, thank you very much for some of your suggestions so far. I'm going to go into today's tips for you, and I'm going to share my screen with you now and bring up today's PowerPoint. So is everyone ready for today's class? Just put ready in the chat box below. Okay, make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper handy to write down notes, because I don't want you to just come along to this lesson and you're not actually, you're not learning. Well, you're taking in the information, but you're not going to apply it afterwards. I want everyone to listen to the tips that I'm providing, and then as soon as this session has finished today, I want you immediately to contact your study partner, and I want you to practice these tips with your study partner. Okay, so all of our Swoosh English VIP students in our program, we give them access to a study partner. If you're one of our brand new VIP students, just ask for a study partner in our Facebook group and we will match you with someone. But it's really important that you take the theory today and you put it into practice. Okay, and the best thing to do is, as soon as this class is finished, immediately contact someone and get a study partner if you've not already. Contact people in Kumar's OET Facebook group and ask them to be your study partner. Or if you already have a study partner, contact them, arrange a time, speak to them on Skype, speak to them on Zoom. Okay, ZOOM, you can look on Google. Speak to them on, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, video calls, whatever it might be, and practice with each other One person is the interlocutor, the other person is the nurse or the doctor, whichever one you are. And then you can switch around and you can also play a different role. So you're helping each other and you're giving each other feedback. Of course, this is not as good as having a native English speaking OET teacher. However, it is still very, very useful for you to practice these things. So the more you practice them, the more you're going to remember them, and the more you're going to be able to bring these out when it matters the most in your OET speaking examination. So I'm going to go through each of these tips one by one. Okay, before we get started, let me know if everyone's ready. Okay, Sakina's ready, Geetha Lakshmi's ready, Nirad Zai's ready, Annie's ready, Dekla, good to see Dekla, Mariam, Sarim, one of our doctors on our VIP program is ready, Dr. Shakil, Edna is also one of our students, good to see you, Edna, Carla, Midun's ready, Ali Chema, one of our challenge students, good to see you, Shrizana, fantastic. So everyone's ready, everyone's going to write down notes, and make sure you write down notes because later on I'm going to make this screen disappear and I'm going to ask you questions on what you actually learned today. Okay, so it's really, really important that you write down notes, and afterwards I'll test you, and then as soon as this class is finished, then I want you to practice with your study partner. Can I get a promise? Yes, I promise, in the Facebook chat box. Yes, I promise to practice these things afterwards. Okay, can I get a yes, I promise in the chat box? Isabel said ready. Your beard suits you, by the way. Thank you very much, Isabel. Thank you very much. It's quite itchy actually. For the first 3 weeks that I was growing my beard, it was actually quite itchy. So I had to really not pay too much attention to the itch and constantly go like this. Just had to be patient with it. And I think maybe a lot of the male nurses and doctors in our session today can agree with me on that if they've got a beard. Okay, lots of people saying yes, I promise, yes, I promise. Okay, and yes, Shrijesh said, is there any doctors here looking for a study partner? Contact each other, everyone. Contact each other. Lots of motivated people and hardworking people here today. So definitely contact each other and get some study partners going together. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the first one, an examiner, okay, as soon as they listen, so remember, you've done your 2 role plays, and I should actually say for anyone who's new to OET, in the speaking exam is roughly around about 20 minutes in total. You have 2 to 3 minutes preparation time, and you're going to get 2 role plays. So 2 to 3 minutes preparation time for each role play, okay? So, and then you have your 5 minutes for each role play, okay? So roughly in total, it would be around about 19 to 20 minutes or so in total. And what this will be done between yourself and the OET trained interlocutor. So they'll play the role of the patient or the carer or the parent, for example. And so they are not the examiner. And then what happens afterwards is the recordings, the audio recordings. It's not video. You're not filmed on video. However, I think OET could improve this by having it as a video, so that they could actually, look at and read your non-verbal communication, like your body language, etc., etc. And I mean, especially, for example, your facial expressions when you're showing empathy and reassurance. However, that's probably something that might happen next year or the year after. But for now, they take your audio recordings and they send them to Melbourne, Australia, and that's where the examiners will actually go through each of your role plays and they will assess you and give you a score. As soon as they start listening to your audio recording, I think, in my opinion, in the first 5 to seconds of you starting to speak, they can hear very, very quickly whether you are confident or not, okay? Because confident people, okay, hopefully you think I'm confident right now to speak to all of you, but you can hear that I'm very certain in what I'm saying. I know absolutely what I'm saying to you, okay? And people who are certain, you can hear it in their voice, the words that they use, they don't hesitate, okay? So when I say the words that they use, the words are very certain as well. There's not, well, maybe you could try this medication, that is not certain. There's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes. You can hear it in my voice. You can hear it in my words. I said maybe. Well, maybe you could try this medication. Okay, you can hear in my voice, I am not certain. So confidence comes to confidence is shown through your voice immediately to the examiner. Okay, and it kind of, I suppose in their mind, as soon as they hear those first 5 to 10 seconds, they're thinking, oh, okay, we could potentially be having a grade A candidate here. We potentially could have a grade B candidate. It's the same for me when I'm doing interviews, with new staff members that come into Swoosh, or, or I'm doing OET speaking role plays, because I do a lot of mock examination group classes for our VIP students each week. For example, last week we had 3 classes, and I can hear in the first 5 to 10 seconds I'm playing the role of the interlocutor and the examiner and giving them a score, and I can hear immediately, oh, okay, we could potentially have a grade A candidate, we potentially could have a grade B candidate. But on the other side, I also hear when I think that this potentially could be a grade C or grade C plus candidate, and confidence is shown immediately. Okay, it's shown immediately. But then again, sometimes you can be very confident at the beginning, but then your confidence starts to dip down, and you start to become less sure of yourself. And this confidence is developed through practice and feedback. So you constantly practicing your speaking with a study partner, with an OET teacher, and getting feedback. Your confidence starts to grow, and especially if you can hear and see the improvements that you're making. For example, some students, when they join our program, they take a speaking mock exam group class with us, with my teachers and I, and we're grading them as an estimate of C plus. And then they take they work on it with their study partners, they go to the live classes, etc. Then 4 or 5 weeks later, we do another group class with them, and we do a one-to-one speaking mock exam, and we can see, wow, they've made some huge improvements. And then when they know they're getting that honest feedback, then they start to really feel more confident, which then helps them and then develop further. And then when they take their real exam, they can walk out of that speaking examination and think, I definitely did the best that I could possibly do. I think I got a grade B. Of course, you never know 100%, but sometimes you just can walk out of exam and you passed. I've had that feeling before. Lots of doctors and nurses who've been through the OET and told us this after they passed. They said, I walked out of that speaking examination and I just know that I passed this examination. I just know, I can feel it. And you can feel it yourself. A lot of students, when they leave their exam and then they go on Facebook or groups after OET World or whatever, or they message us, they say, Alex, I just know that I passed. I did this, and this. I implemented everything that you told me to do, and I'm so confident now. So, then they get their results 3 weeks later, and more often than not, they did get the grade B or the grade A that they were looking for. So confidence is developed through practice. Get those study partners, and then, like I said, confidence will be able to be heard in your voice immediately by the examiner. Okay, so they want to hear that confidence in you. It's the bedrock. It's the foundation of everything that you do in the speaking role plays, is that confidence. Because I'm not talking about it in this session today, but being a leader, okay, being a leader the whole way through from beginning to end. Effective leaders are confident people, okay? Effective leaders are not, they lack confidence. They're low in confidence. They have confidence, and you are the leader as the medical professional. You are initiating the role play the whole way through. You are asking the questions. You are moving the conversation on, okay, to the next stage, and then to the next stage, and then to the next stage, to the natural conclusion 5 minutes later. Okay, so first one, confidence. Can anyone tell me can you say in the chat box, yes, I'm confident, no, I'm not confident? Okay, let me know in the chat box. Because if you say yes, you are confident, then you're right. If you say you're not confident, then you're also right. Okay, because what we believe becomes reality. Okay, so would you say, and you can be honest as well, if you're not confident, then don't say yes, I'm confident, but let me know in the chat box, because confidence can be heard really quickly. Okay, Blessy, yes, I'm confident. Fantastic, Blessy. Who else? Please. Yes, I'm confident, Liesel. Fantastic. Capital letters. Rimple. Yes, I'm confident. Yes, I'm confident, Auntie. Fantastic. Okay. And say this every day. You know, you can say as a little affirmation to yourself, and every morning you can say, I am so happy and thankful that I got a grade A in OET speaking. Even though that's not true right now, as soon as you say that every day, you start to put the practice in that would get you that grade A or grade B. So a little bit of psychology there for you. So that's the first one. Confidence, very important. Varied vocabulary. Okay. So this links in with number 4 as well, which is about empathy and reassurance. Some people, so say for example, I'm the patient and, you know, I've had a heart attack recently. And for example, I could say, yeah, I've been having a lot of chest pain and it's very, very uncomfortable for me. And it's affecting my day-to-day life, as you know, and I'm not able to do any physical activity. And I'm just so depressed about it. And then the nurse or the doctor says, yes, I understand. Anyway, so moving on, my next question is blah, 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 blah. Okay. And they're just using a memorized phrase, yes, I understand. Okay. But they've not really been specific about why they understand, okay, or your particular condition. They've just memorized that, and they could do 100 role plays with 100 different situations and still use that, yes, I understand, yes, I understand. It's very generic, it's very generalized. Okay, you really won't need to make it more specific to the patient that you're dealing with, which obviously is the interlocutor. So varied vocabulary, you know, try to vary, because like I said before, this is an English language examination, not a medical examination. Or another one is, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. Yes, I'm sorry, madam. But why are you sorry? Be specific. This is your opportunity to impress the examiner. And a better example would be, I'm so sorry to hear about the situation that you're currently facing right now. It's never easy for someone like yourself who's had a heart attack and is having, you know, tightness in, you know, difficulties breathing, tightness in your chest. Can you tell me specifically where are you feeling the pain? Okay, so you can hear immediately that one was, that sentence and then followed up with the question at the end was much better than saying, yes, I understand, sorry to hear that, and then moving on, because it shows you've actively listened. And also, and when I say actively listen, I mean that you're actually repeating some of the information that the patient has said to you. Okay, so you're repeating some of the information. It shows that you were listening, because you would have had to have listened to actually being able to repeat that information back to them. Of course, you're not repeating every single thing they say, because then that would be strange. Okay, but you need to show that you can vary your vocabulary. The other thing is, you could repeat some words, but you could paraphrase some other words. Okay, and then that again shows your ability to take in information from the patient and being able to use your paraphrasing skills and your vocabulary set to be able to come back with with your answer and then a follow-up question. You noticed I did a follow-up question at the end as well, okay? Because then that's your ability, that's your responsibility then to move the conversation on. I talked before about being the leader. So you're using that really varied vocabulary, you're using that specific empathy and reassurance, and then you're moving the conversation on to the next stage, and then the next stage, and the next stage after that, to the logical conclusion, which is the full 5 minutes of the role play. Okay, so varied vocabulary, really, really important. So please don't just use that same phrase every time. Sorry to hear that. Yes, I understand. Okay, because, or, you know, I understand, whatever. Those phrases are really, really generic. They're just not going to get you the scores that you're looking for. And here, today's session is all about how to get a grade A. So if you just keep saying, yes, I understand, yes, I understand, yes, I understand, because some people do these role plays with me and I hear them say, yes, I understand 5 or 6 times throughout the role play, okay? You could instead of saying, yes, I understand the whole way through, okay, you could say, I totally appreciate how you must be feeling right now about your chest tightness, about your heart attack, about your diabetes, about your obesity, etc. Okay, you've made it specific, but you've also varied your vocabulary. You could say, I always like people to put an adverb in front. I totally understand how you must be feeling right now. So totally as the adverb, I totally understand how you must be feeling right now, blah, 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 with the specifics of their condition. I totally appreciate, I can fully understand where you must be coming from with your chest tightness. Okay, you've used fully as an adverb. Like I said, vary the vocabulary. If I was in your position, I would also feel this same way that you're feeling right now, or I would also feel emotional about this. Again, varying your language. Okay, you're showing that empathy and that reassurance, but you're varying your vocabulary. Really, really important. Okay, can I get a yes, I understand so far? Which is actually ironic because I said don't say that. But does everyone understand what I'm saying? Please let me know. Just say yes in the chat box instead of yes, I understand. Okay, can everyone let me know in the chat box? Vary your vocabulary. Okay, vary your vocabulary. Very, very important. Cecile. Okay, yeah, so people are matching themselves up with different study partners. Fantastic. And Doshi says, yes, I'm confident. Lenin, yes, I'm confident. Dr. Abdullah, yes, I'm confident. Okay. Srijesh said, I'm not confident due to a lack of mock exams. Yes, very important to do mock exams with a teacher, an OET teacher who can give you feedback, corrections, suggestions for improvement, and an estimated score. Lots of people saying, yes, I'm confident. Muyad, Dr. Sarim, yes, I'm confident. Sarim, you're on our program, so you should be feeling confident. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, I totally understand, Divya. Fantastic. Yeah, good. And I've just realized I should stop saying fantastic so many times. Excellent. Brilliant. Srizana, yes, I understand. Yes, Rafi, I totally understand. I completely appreciate what you delivered. What you delivered, yeah, I suppose. Not so natural to say that, Juhi, but I completely appreciate the situation. For example, if you're in the role play, totally understand, Javed. Fantastic. Okay, stop saying fantastic, Alex. Okay, excellent. So moving on to number 3, your ability to get information. This lies with what I just mentioned a couple of minutes ago about active listening skills, because what a big mistake a lot of medical professionals make is they are focusing only on what they have to say, okay? What they have to say. They're not really thinking about what the patient or the carer, the interlocutor, what they are saying. So a scenario would be that I am the nurse or doctor, and I am answering, I'm basically asking a question, or I'm answering something that the patient has asked, or whatever it might be. And as soon as I've finished saying what I wanted to say, then it moves on to the interlocutor, the patient, and they are saying what maybe they're detailing their conditions, their treatment that they've had previously, whatever it might be. They've had chest tightness, like I said before, difficulty breathing. And you're not listening to those symptoms. You're not listening to difficulty breathing. You're not listening to what the treatment that they are telling you that they've had previously. You're just having this kind of panic. You feel this panic come up your body of they're going. You can feel that they're going to stop speaking in a minute, and you need to think, okay, what do I say next? What do I say next? And then you're going into this panic mode, and it's like a fight or flight. If you've heard of fight or flight before, you're like, oh, I just want this role play to be finished quick. I just need to get it done because I'm so nervous right now. I'm so anxious. So when you're in that anxious mode, your mind is not here. Your mind is elsewhere. Your mind is thinking about what you're going to eat for your meal later on, or that feeling of getting outside the exam room, outside and going, you're relieved. You're not in the present. You need to be in the present the whole way through these speaking examinations, these role plays, and you need to be really here. Your mind and body needs to be here to be able to listen to what the person is telling you in order to get the information that you're looking for to be able to move the role play on to the next stage. Really important. Like I said before, you keep moving that role play on to its logical conclusions. Remember, you've got A and you've got B. A is the beginning of the role play. B is the end of the role play. So A is They are scared, they're worried, they're anxious, you know, they're in a negative state right now, and you need to take them on a journey all the way to B. Okay, so A is a negative situation, B is the positive situation at the end of this role play. You've helped them in some way to know how they can deal with their condition. You've given them more understanding about their symptoms. You're telling them that everything's going to be okay. Don't worry, because we're here to support you, and we're going to look after you all the way through this process to help you overcome this condition or to cope with this condition that they're having right now. So you're taking them on that journey. And in order to take them on that journey, you need to get the information from them that's inside their head, okay? And you know, for them to think about the feelings that they're having within their body, the aches, the pains, etc. And then they can communicate that to you. And then you can then decide, okay, this is the problem. I've diagnosed the problem. I understand what their issue is. And now I can start suggesting a solution, okay? Really taking them on that problem and solution journey, okay? So, and the other thing is, make sure, please let me know, actually, I want to make sure you're all writing down notes. So if you want to type down your notes in these on the Facebook message box as well, please do that, so that I know that you're taking really good notes. Because I every week I always say to people, write down notes, but I don't know if you're actually writing down notes. So please let me know, so I know that people are taking this information and they're going to apply it at the end. So your ability to get information. How do you get information? Well, like I said, you actively listen, okay? And you can then come back with a question based on what they say, not what you're thinking of saying, but actually based on what they say, to show that you really care about them. Because if you're just asking them a question that's completely unrelated to their answer, then they feel like you're just ignoring them. And I've had this situation before where I've been to hospitals, I've been to doctors in the UK about a condition or an illness that I've got, and I feel like sometimes, yes, I feel that they do care about me, but sometimes I feel like they don't, because they're not listening properly to what I'm saying. Maybe they are listening to me, but in what they're saying, I can't tell, I can't distinguish whether they are or they aren't listening to me. But you need to be able to verbalize, because remember, the examiner is listening to the audio recordings. You need to verbalize that you are listening to the patient, and then you're moving the conversation on and getting the information that you need in order to make a once you can get that diagnosis, then you can start suggesting some recommendations and some solutions. Okay, so what within this getting information comes the real importance of open and closed questions. And my VIP students know that I talk about this all the time in our speaking mock exam group classes. Open and closed questions. Can anyone tell me in the chat box what is an open question? And also, can you tell me in the chat box what is a closed question, and give me an example? Have we got any STAR students out there who know the difference between an open and closed question? Can you let me know in the chat box? Okay, what is an open question? What is a closed question? Fantastic. So lots of people are sharing today's OET live class video. If all you need to do, step one, share the Facebook live video to your Facebook page. Step two, under this video, under facebook.com/swoosh English, then you write, I have shared the OET live class video. So you need to use this specific sentence, I have shared the OET live class video, and you'll get access to our free OET welcome pack with lots of video lessons, resources, tips on reading, writing, listening, and speaking to help you all the way to mastering and getting your grade B requirements, whether you're a doctor or you're a nurse. Okay, so Midun is one of our VIP nurses. He knows what an open-ended question is. It starts with, usually with 5 W's: what, why, when, where, which. Okay, and then 1 H, which is how. If you start questions with these kinds of words, then you're going to be asking open-ended questions. Closed questions just give you a yes or a no answer. And this also reminds me that a lot of people, they say to me, Alex, when I'm practicing my role plays with my study partner, with my teacher, I'm finding that I can only speak for 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes. And then I don't know what to say next. I don't have any more ideas of what to say. The reason why that's happening in most cases is because you're asking closed questions the whole way through. Do you have pain in your chest? Yes. Is there, is there anybody to help you get out of the house, each day? Yes. You could keep asking, is there, do they, are there? All of these are just yes or no closed questions. So that means for number 3 here, your ability to get information, you're not getting any information at all. Well, you're getting a little bit, but not enough for you to bring them on that journey to solving their problem. You're not getting any information about the symptoms. For example, you could say how many times per day are you experiencing chest pain? Okay, or W could be where did you collapse yesterday? Where did you collapse yesterday when you had your heart attack? Okay, you can start to then they could say, for example, well, I was in my home and nobody was around to help me. Okay, and I don't know which room in particular did you collapse. Maybe that's not the best example, but you get what I'm saying, is that you need to be able to get information, get answers from the patient in order to then ask your next question. And this helps you to come up with a full understanding of the patient and their needs and where you need to take them to next. So your ability to get information is very, very important. Okay, yeah. So I think a lot of people know what closed and open questions are, but the difference is the difference between knowing and actually applying are 2 very different things. So you need to be able to apply open-ended questions in your role plays. Of course, every question cannot be just open. That wouldn't be natural. You need to be able to combine open and closed questions. So a closed question, you could be clarifying that with them. They say, for example, you said, where in your body are you experiencing pain? And you could say, well, I'm experiencing a lot of pain in my chest, and sometimes it spreads throughout my body. And then you could say, okay, so what I'm understanding, so what I'm hearing from you is that the pain is only in your chest. Is that right? Okay, now you've made it a clarifying closed question. Is that right? Yes or no? So it shows that you're listening to them, and you can then repeat back to them, and you can paraphrase there, which again shows your ability to, your vocabulary ability and your ability to take in information, input, and then bring it out again, the output. Okay, so you're doing quite a few things there at the same time. Specific empathy and reassurance, I talked about that before. Instead of just saying, sorry to hear that, sorry to hear about the chest pain that you're having right now. How many times a day are you experiencing this kind of chest pain? Oh, well, 3 times a day, and it's usually in the mornings and the evenings when I experience it. Then you can ask more questions to get more information. So are we all understanding number 1, 2, 3, 4 so far? Confidence, varied vocabulary, your ability to get information from the patient, specific empathy, reassurance, not just saying, yes, I understand, yes, I understand, yes, I understand. Like I said before, varying it up. I totally appreciate how you must be feeling right now. It's such a difficult situation for many of the hundreds of patients I've helped, but I just want to let you know that we're here to support you and guide you the whole way through. And that leads me into number 5. Number 5. It's quite a difficult transition to make for nurses and doctors, medical professionals who are watching right now, to become and to have that mentality of being an actor or an actress, okay, as well as a medical professional. Because I have done so many of these mock exams, and I've done so many examples, for the period of time that we've been doing OET, and I'm able to play that role of an actor. I'd like to think quite well, because I've done it so many times. I've had so much practice doing this, giving people feedback, etc., and their corrections and suggestions for improvement, that I feel that I've become, quite a good actor at doing this. Now, you need to, even if it's not your natural personality to be, you know, expressive, extroverted. People might think right now I'm quite extroverted, but sometimes I can be introverted. However, I know when I'm doing a class, when I'm doing a Facebook Live session like this, and you know, there's over 100 people watching right now, which is the case on our Facebook Live, I have to be more extroverted. I have to be more, I have to be playing the role, and I'm playing the role of your teacher. Okay, when I'm out in the evenings with my friends or my family, I'm not playing the role of a teacher. We all play different roles in our life. You're playing a role of a mother or a father or a brother, or you're playing the role of a nurse or a doctor in the hospital. We all play different roles, and you have to be willing to play the role of the actor or an actress in this role play. So your natural personality might be quite introverted, and you might speak like this. Hello, my name is Alex, and I'll be your doctor today. Okay, there's nothing wrong with speaking like that. If that's your natural personality, then of course you need to embrace that. However, in the role play, you need to be, you need to be more expressive. Okay, and I'm not saying that you need to fake fake a different personality or pretend to be someone else, but you have to give the examiner what they're looking for, even if it's not natural to you. Okay, you might be kind of person who always asks closed questions. However, for the purposes of getting a grade A or a grade B from the examiner, you need to be able to ask open-ended questions. So the only thing I can say from this is, once you've got this theory, is to put it into practice. Get a teacher, okay, ideally, if you can, someone who can give you advice on your open and closed questions. And as soon as you keep doing this practice, then you'll start to feel more comfortable doing this, and you'll be able to play the role of the actor or actress, because the people who get A's are the ones who are willing to embrace this role of an actor and actress. Okay, you could be, based on the requirements, the bullet points set out on the role play card, you might need to change how you are. Maybe you have to be really, really expressive, like the way I'm doing, like now with my body language, etc. You have to be able to fit the role of the requirements that the role play card is asking you to do. Okay, so really important. It's the same thing with the interlocutor. Some people in the role play, they after they've done their real examination, when they get home, they complain to their friends about how the interlocutor was really angry and it didn't help their performance. Well, the thing is, the interlocutor is playing a role as well. You're playing the role of a doctor or a nurse. They are playing a role as well. Maybe they're angry in the role play because in the role play card, it tells them you need to be, you are playing the role of an angry parent whose child was misdiagnosed or whatever it is. They're playing a role, okay? That's not their real personality. So just remember that. That's another extra point to remember, that they're just playing a role, okay? And they're not angry at you, and they're not trying to take marks away from you. They're there to help and support you to get the marks that you deserve, okay? To bring that information, bring it out of you as much as possible, so that the examiner can give you the best possible chance to get that grade A or grade B. Okay, so play the role of a doctor or a nurse. Okay, Teresa's one of our VIP nurses is asking for a speaking partner. Definitely contact Teresa. They don't need to be based in the UK, Teresa. They could be based online. Okay, they could be based online, and you could speak to them on. And sometimes it's much more convenient. Okay, of course it's good to do face-to-face as well, but if you are, if you've got a busy lifestyle, you're a parent, you've got kids to look after, you've got a job, sometimes it might be good to speak to each other on Skype or on WhatsApp, etc. Okay, any comments so far based on what I've mentioned? Any comments so far? Okay, lots of people saying they're taking the exam in December. Okay, so you really need to start practicing on a day-to-day basis, okay? Really important, especially if you've got your exam in December, just a few weeks away, okay? Really important. Okay, Ali Chema, where did you face this incident? Yeah, open-ended question. Okay, good. So moving on to the next one. Flexible and natural English. How much time have we got? Okay, I'm gonna have to go through these tips quite quickly. Okay, flexible and natural English. A lot of people are using memorized English, okay, memorized phrases that they can just use in any kind of role play that they could get. I'm here to tell you that you need to be specific to the role play. Be specific to the role play and the task. Okay, I'm not going to repeat some of the examples I gave you previously, but really important that you are the examiner can identify immediately when you have just memorized something. It's so obvious. I mean, I've done mock exams with lots of students, and I know I can hear immediately as a native UK person. I mean, I don't even need to be an OET teacher. You can just, and any person on the street who's a native UK person would be able to listen to this role play and will be able to tell you where you've memorized certain phrases. Okay, it's quite obvious because it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't fit into the conversation or the you know what the situation of the role play is. So this is where you need to have a good level of English, okay, to be able to be flexible with your language. So use language for this situation, but use language for that situation. Sometimes it can sound strange and a bit weird if you're trying to use memorized language for a particular role play when it just doesn't fit. You know, it just doesn't fit together. When you use specific vocabulary and specific English for the situation, it fits together like that, and that's really what you want, because the examiner can spot that immediately. Think they've gone through and listened to thousands of these role plays. They know the difference between natural, flexible English and memorized English. So really important. And let me know in the chat box if you have memorized phrases before, because I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Don't be general, be specific. Don't be general, be specific. I want you to write that down. Don't be general, be specific. Number 7, if you've got some time remaining at the end, okay, and the interlocutor has not stopped you from speaking, so you've not used the full 5 minutes, you can summarize, okay? You can summarize. You can say, for example, okay, just to summarize our conversation today, Mr. Taylor, you've told me that you've had some chest pain and you've been experiencing that on a day-to-day basis, and this is the medication you've been using. What I prescribed to you after today's session is this, this, and this. If you're still experiencing problems, come back to me in a couple of weeks, and we'll be here to support you the whole step of the way to make sure you can overcome this condition. Is that okay, Mr. Taylor? Yes, great. Okay. So summarize at the end. If you have time remaining, use a kind of example like that, and that will really impress the examiner, because they can spot, okay, this person had some time left and they used that time wisely. It wasn't just an awkward silence, because some people have an awkward silence and they don't know how to naturally finish the role play the full 5 minutes. They just go, have we finished yet? And then the interlocutor says, no, we've got 30 seconds left. So, you know, you want to make sure that you're taking control the whole way through and you're pretending that it's a real role play. Pretending it's a real role play. Okay, it's not, in that situation, it's not an OET speaking exam. Pretend it's a real role play. Pretend it's a real situation in a hospital. Okay, pretend it's a real situation in a hospital. So forget in that moment that, you know, there is a speaking exam. Of course, you won't forget that, but I suppose if you can combine the two, then that would be the best situation. So remember, because some people have said, for example, I did a speaking mock exam last week with a student, and I think I said something like, oh, I collapsed on the floor and I had a heart attack, and he started laughing. Okay, I think he didn't appreciate the fact that he needs to pretend it's a real situation. In a hospital, would you laugh if someone said, I had a heart attack and collapsed on the floor? No, you would show your concern, you would show your reassurance, your empathy. So pretend it's a real situation in a real hospital. That's summarizing. Structure your ideas, okay? It's really good to be able to structure your ideas. One way you could say is, you know, you could listen to the person who's had a heart attack and say, you know, I'm really sorry to, I'm really sorry to hear about the heart attack you've had yesterday, but I just want to tell you, we're here to help you and guide you to overcoming this condition, blah, blah, blah. what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you 3 ways that we can help you today. Okay, so 3 ways, and I can guarantee right now that this has helped hundreds of other people before, and I'm confident it's going to help you too. Is that okay? Yes, great. Okay, the first one is this. The second one is that, and lastly is this. If you can structure like that, this will really impress the examiner. Okay, you're able to organize sequentially your ideas. It's not kind of all over the place. You've organized it out. Now, if the situation doesn't call for it, if it disrupts the flow of the conversation, then don't do it that way. But try to structure your idea so you're not just repeating information the whole way through. So if you've talked, for example, about I don't know, the person has had chest tightness, okay, and you've asked them about that. Don't then repeat that information later on, you know, and it's unrelated to the flow of the conversation, because it sounds strange. You need to be able to structure your ideas. It's the same with if you give a speech, if you do public speaking. You could say, for example, hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about chest complaints, and there are 3 main causes of chest complaints, and I'll go through them one by one. The first one is blah, blah, blah. The second one, third one. So you'd be able to structure your ideas. I could go into a lot more detail about that, but we don't have enough time. Really important. The last one, I've talked about it before, paraphrasing. Really important that you're able to paraphrase. Don't just repeat the words that are on the role play card. Of course, there'll be, you know, chest tightness, for example. Well, I suppose you could even say, you know, if someone who's had chest complaints, you could say chest pain. Try to use different vocabulary. Don't just use the same words that you see in the role play card. For example, there was a role play card recently that I saw talking about checking your check the patient's vital signs. Okay, vital signs is quite a medical kind of medical vocabulary to use. Just you could use different words for that. Don't just use exactly what's on the role play card, because it shows that your level of English to the examiner is lower. Okay, you need to be able to use different vocabulary to impress them. So I won't go into too much detail about that because we've gone through it before. Okay. So Daiju said, how will I know that the time is over? The interlocutor will stop you. There's a clock in the room. Okay. What are lots of people saying I'm taking my exam in December. You want to have a study partner. Of course, it's really good. It's fantastic to have a study partner, and we do that for our students in our program. But it's even better to have a teacher giving you feedback on what you need to do to improve, because someone could do a role play with you, but they don't know how to give you feedback. And you could practice 1,000 times. You could practice 1,000 times these mock exams, and you could hypothetically do this exam 1,000 times, the real exam. But if you don't get any feedback, you'll just keep getting C, 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 C plus, C plus, C plus, C, C, C the whole way through. You'll never improve. For example, I live in London, and I've met people before, different nationalities who've lived in the UK, and I say to them, how long have you lived in the UK for? 15 years, they say. But their English is broken English. Okay, they're not using full words, they're not using full sentences. They are, you know, for example, how they ask a question like how to get to swimming pool, how to get to swimming pool, or how to get to school. What they want to say is, do you know how I can get to school? Do you know how I can get to the local swimming pool? But they're using broken English, and they've been here for 15 years. And the problem with that is they've been speaking English every day, but nobody's given them any feedback. No one's told them what they need to do to improve. So that's just a quick thing for you, that to find a good quality teacher. Okay, so ideally a native speaker, American, Australian, or English or UK teacher. Find someone like that, and someone who's got experience of helping students to get A's and B's. These are the best people to help you, because otherwise you could be taking the exam again and again and again. And I've seen lots of students getting C's and C pluses, but they're just adamant. They just think, no, I will continue doing my self-study and having a study partner. But an even better thing is if you can get a study partner who's got a grade A or grade B before, then that's really good for you. So if you've got a colleague or someone who's passed this exam, that would be better, because maybe they can give you more feedback. But the best situation is you can get yourself a teacher. Okay, that's the best situation. If you are, if you're one of our VIP students, we'll be doing another speaking mock exam group class next week. If you are a person who has, you don't have any kind of support right now and you've got your exam coming up soon, make sure you go to swooshenglish.com. I will put that in the chat box for you, where you'll be able to get feedback, corrections, suggestions, and for improvement, and grade estimations from us in our program. So we would love to help you. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take off my screen. Okay, I'm going to take my screen off, and I'm going to see who can remember what we have talked about today. So let's see. I'm going to bring this off now, and let's see if you can remember. Okay, so now I've taken it off now. What I want to know is what are the grade A things that you need to do to get grade A things you need to do to get the high scores in your OET speaking examination? What are the examiners looking for? Can you let me know in the chat box? What are the examiners looking for, everyone? Can you tell me? Who can give me all of the tips that we talked about today? Let's see who's been taking notes. So how many things did we have? We had 9 things that you need to do. Can anyone tell me in the chat box? Who have we got? I want as many people as possible taking part. So some people have left now, but those will be the people that don't get their grade A's and B's because they have not actually told us what they learned today. So the people like Mai, Heba, Sarim, all of you who are actually writing what you've learned today, you are more likely to pass than the people who've left. Declare, confidence, ability to give, ability to get information, declare, not give information. Paraphrasing, said Dr. Heba. Dr. Shako, confidence. Dr. Sarim, flexible and natural English, confidence. Okay, Teresa, there's live. I don't know if you're in our live class program, Teresa, but our live class students have a reading and listening class every Friday. Every Friday, it's always the same time, 1:30 p.m. But I don't think you're in our live class program. Reassurance. Or maybe you are, Teresa. Maybe you are. I can't remember now. Blessy. Yeah, specific empathy. Sarim. Be specific and a good listener. Ability to understand the patient. Vocabulary, your range of vocabulary, ability to understand, no repetition, don't memorize, confidence. Yeah, Priya, do not memorize information. Teresa, confidence, vocabulary, paraphrasing. Nikolai Jane, very good answers, yeah. Rafi, yeah. Ali Chema, fantastic, yeah. Ali Chema. Ah, okay, great. You are in our live class program, Teresa. You will get access to our OET Reading and Listening 2.0 class, 1:30 p.m. UK time. I think you're in India, so that'll be about 5 or 6 p.m. Maybe you need to check. Summarize if you've got time at the end. Edna, focus on the patient's concerns. Yes, be an active listener. Paraphrasing. Yes, definitely. Empathy and confidence. Great stuff. Okay, so make sure, if you want to get access to our free OET welcome pack, make sure you share this video. So first thing, share the video to your page so that other people can get access to this. And then secondly, underneath this video, I have shared the OET live class video. Make sure you do that. We're very excited here at Swoosh because we have put together, we've got 1 mock exam that's available for our VIP students right now for reading and listening. It's taken us a long time to put these mock exams together. Let me know in the chat box if you're looking for mock exams. So we released 1 last week, and we've made 3 more. So those other 3 will be available next week. So that means we'll have 4 mock exams that Swoosh English, our team of OET UK teachers, have put together. So if you're looking for high quality mock exam materials, they're going to be available for all of our students on our VIP programs. So if you are looking for those things, because I know how desperate students are to look with mock exams, they want good quality mock exams, because there's some schools who are putting mock exams out there that are not high quality, and there's some schools that are putting good quality mock exam materials out there. So we put all of our reading and listening mock exams together. They are checked and counter-checked and verified by 2 or 3 teachers to make sure that the quality is very, very high. And we've got lots of our VIP students who are going through them. Isabel, yeah, you're in our VIP program. Just check in the VIP group. Go to the VIP group, Isabel, and you can write in the search box mock exam, and you'll be able to find it in there. Okay, so yeah, if you do want access to those mock exams, then join one of our programs. Go to swooshenglish.com. Like I said, one has been made available to our VIP students, and then 3 more are going to be available next week and the week after. So we'll have 4 altogether. Thanks, Alex, for your continuous communication about OET. You're welcome, Declan. Make sure you use full sentences, A-B-O-U-T, for about. Dr. Shakil, where can I get a good quality native teacher? swooshenglish.com. Go there to our website. Shakil would love to help you. Shrizana, I think you're in our VIP program. Again, the same thing. Look in the search box. Go type in mock exam if you're in our VIP program. Okay, I've taken the exam. Oh, it's the results. Ah, okay. Well, we sent an email out last week, Isabel, about the results. But what we have done now, we've actually made, this week, we've made it so that you can get your results automatically on our system. So you can get the results immediately. But if you've not received your results yet, or just check that email, okay, check through your emails, because we did email everybody their results. But yeah, we've now changed it to become automatic so you can get access to that. Thank you so much, Alex. You're very, very welcome, everyone. And yeah, so if you're looking for mock exams, go to our website, swooshenglish.com. It's part of our VIP programs. And thank you so much for being here today. And I really appreciate all of your time. And I know you could be doing other things, but I know how determined and hardworking you are to pass your examination. And if Swoosh English can help you in any way, then that would mean the world to us, and we'd be very satisfied to hear about that. And I mean, for example, I went to a hospital in the UK a few days ago for a meeting with them about how we could help their nurses. I won't say which one it is, but when I go into real hospitals in the UK, it makes it more real about what we're doing, okay? Because sometimes when you're in the classes and you're helping students, sometimes you're just so focused on helping them to pass their exam, but you forget how important it is to the rest of their life. Not just their lives, but the patients' lives. You know, you're seeing patients when I saw patients in hospital a few days ago in a wheelchair, they're in bed in A&E, or they've had a car accident or whatever. If we don't get doctors and nurses into the UK soon, we're going to have a huge crisis. Okay, we're going to have a huge crisis because we just do not have enough homegrown doctors and nurses. So homegrown, I mean UK native doctors and nurses. My sister is a nurse in the UK, but she was able to get that place as a nurse because she had financial help from the government. But now they've stopped that help. They've stopped that financial support. She got a bursary, so she got her university fees paid for her. But now the problem is that the UK government have stopped that, which means that it's so much more important that we get all of you who are watching right now, all of you to pass these exams so that you can become a doctor or nurse in the UK, and you can make, you can change your life, you can change the patients' lives that you're helping, you can help our country as a whole in the UK. So that's why we need you all, and that's why it was really good for me to go to a hospital a few days ago to remember that what we are doing right now, all of these people that are watching, Isabel, Cecil, Edna, Nikolai, Geetha Lakshmi, Saima, Surya, Blessy, all of you, you want to become doctors and nurses in the UK. And I'd love in the future, if you remember my face, I hope, I come into the hospital in the future and you can say, hi Alex, you helped me to pass my exam. I really appreciate it. And maybe you'll be my doctor or nurse helping me with whatever illness or condition that I have. And hopefully, this free class that you've done today, you'll be able to pay me back in some way and help me overcome my condition. So just wanted to say that because it's so important that we're able to help you as much as possible to achieve your dreams, getting a higher salary, improving your family's life, improving your life, giving you the things in life that you want to get, and then being able to help those patients with the conditions and for them to be able to do the things that they're not able to do right now. So we really need these kinds of people. Okay. So our mock exams, Skylar, they're not going to be available for free, unfortunately. We've spent a lot of time, money, and energy on putting these mock exams together, so we need to charge for it. But what I will do is I keep doing these Facebook Live sessions. I'll keep these free for you to help you as much as possible. But if you, what we find is the people who pay for courses, the ones who pay for the mock exams, they're the ones who complete the whole OET process quicker. They pass their exams quicker. They save money in the long run, and they save their time, they save their energy, and they minimize the frustration. Because when you get expert support, whether it's, you might be obese right now and you need a gym instructor. If you pay someone who is an expert in that area, you'll lose weight a lot faster, and it will cost you less in the long run, because you could end up paying for really expensive hospital bills if you're in a different country. An expert is really what you need. So if you are looking to pass as quickly as possible in the most effective manner possible, in the least amount of exam attempts, and we've got fantastic pass rates where we're helping students pass first time. If you are wanting that kind of support and you don't want to keep paying $500 for the OET exam, then I would love to help and support you with our mock exams, our video courses, our live classes, our speaking mock exams, our writing correction service, all of these things. Go to swooshenglish.com. But I think that's it from me. I hope you remember what I said today about the hospital, and remember that it's not just about the exam, it's about what your life is like afterwards, and that motivation will help you with this OET process. It's not fun, it's not exciting to do OET, okay? However, you are doing this for a reason. You're doing this to pass your exam, to have a better life in the UK. So make sure you keep on sharing these videos. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, all the very nice messages I'm getting from Mildred and Rafi and all these people. Jody, you're very, very welcome. If I can keep on supporting you, then I'll try to do that. Skylar, etc. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good weekend wherever you are in the world, and keep studying hard, but also sometimes give yourself a rest as well. Have a great rest of your Friday and the weekend as a whole.